हरि ओम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Bhagavad Gita, a conversation with God daily. So actually we've been conversing with God daily. Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. And now that we are learning the Bhagavad Gita, it is actually a conversation between us and God. He will answer all questions that arise in your heart. Today, chapter 6, shloka number 6. Bandhuratmatmanastasya येनात्मैवात्मना जितः अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तेतात्मैव शत्रुवत्। बन्धुरात्मा आत्मनः तस्य येन आत्मैव आत्मना जितः. Yesterday we completed with you are your own friend and you are your own enemy. In this shloka, it is now explained why it is that way. Bandhuhu atma atmanaha tasya yena atmaiva atmana jitaha. You are your own friend when you have totally conquered all your senses, when you have totally conquered your body. When you have done that, then you are your own friend. Anatmanastu, one who has not conquered his senses, one who has not conquered himself, he is actually his own enemy. Actually, external enemies, they attack us or they cause some loss for us once in a while, rarely, and we can actually protect ourselves from that also. We can defend ourselves, we can in turn attack them. That is actually not a big thing, but there are some enemies within us. Those enemies are very dangerous. Or we keep running after various things. Whatever we see, oh, this is so nice, I want this. Hear about some place, oh, I have to go there, to that holiday destination. looking at our friend, feeling jealous of her. Oh, I have to buy a car like her. I have to buy a jewel like her. I have to buy a house like that relative. And for that, we put in so much effort. We even take loan or something. Finally, unable to repay that, getting into lots of trouble. So actually, our enemy is not somebody else. We are our own enemy. Our thoughts, our desires, they actually cause our downfall. Bhagavad Gita. Oh, okay. Today one day I'll not hear. Daily I'm hearing. Today one day for me, just rest. I'll definitely hear tomorrow both together. Just 20 minutes. I'll hear 2 sessions together. Okay. Like this, one day gone, then 2 days, 3 days. Somehow, some relatives came one day, some work you had, 4 or 5 days gone. And then the 6th day, oh, I have missed 5 sessions. Nearly 2 hours of discourse. Okay, how to hear now full? Maybe I listen direct whatever is said today, and then you lose the connection, a bit not clear because you haven't heard the previous sessions. So you feel, okay, I'll hear the previous sessions and then only continue. I'll definitely do it. Like this, somehow it reaches a state where you don't get the time to hear all the sessions together, and somehow finally you feel you give up. So we are our own enemy. Nobody said you should not learn the Bhagavad Gita because of our own laziness. Nothing, just laziness. 20 minutes, 24 hours we have in a day, and we do so many things in one single day. So 20 minutes is just nothing. But just not that we don't want to listen also. We are unable to control our mind. Okay. Tomorrow. We just procrastinate and finally we lose. So, if we have our senses under control, then we are our friend. If our senses are not under control, then we are our own enemy. Jitatmanah prashantasya paramatma samahitaha शीतोष्ण सुख दुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः ज्ञान विज्ञान तृप्तात्मा कूटस्थो विजितेन्द्रियः युक्त इत्युच्यते योगी समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन मध्यस्थद्वेष्य बन्धुषु साधुष्वपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते. जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः. For one who has actually won over his senses, he has won. Here he is victorious. He is no longer under the clutches of his mind or senses or the body. He has taken control. Prashantasya. His mind is always totally at peace. He is always contented, happy. For him, Paramatma Samahitaha, the Supreme Brahman, is always seen. He is able to see the Supreme Brahman always. He is actually in that state of Brahman. In that eternal bliss, he is always there. Shitoshna sukha dukkeshu tatha manapamanayoho. Whether it be cold, very cold, or whether it be a very hot day. Sukha dukkeshu, whether in happiness or whether in grief. Manapamanayoho, whether in humiliation or whether in total honor, whatever it be, he always is in that state of Brahman. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma, it is continued. Jnana means the knowledge which you gain from the scriptures, from the Shastras, whatever you learn from that. Vijnana means actually experiencing it personally, practically experiencing it yourself. In both these cases, this person is contented. He feels enough of everything, enough of my learning. So much, learned this, learned that. Enough. He is no longer interested in learning something new. And whatever he has learned from the scriptures, he has actually experienced all that also. So he is not now craving for any new experience. If something reminds that, oh, it was said like this in the Bhagavad Gita, but I haven't experienced it still now, I should do it. No, he doesn't have any such earning also for any personal experience. Kutastaha, he doesn't waver at all. He's so steady, he doesn't waver. His mind doesn't waver at all. Vijitendriyaha, he has controlled all his senses. Totally under control. His senses. Samaloshtashma kanchanaha, he looks upon a block of mud and gold, or a piece of stone and gold equally. He looks upon both as the same. It doesn't make any difference to him if a gold biscuit lies on the floor or there are many gold coins suddenly while doing some gardening. He gets lots of gold coins. Okay. It's just like when you dig the earth, you pull out some stones. Both are just the same to him. Such a person is said to be successful in his yoga. Suhran Mitra Ari Udasina Madhyastha Dveshya Bandhushu Sadhushvapicha Papeshu Samabuddhihi. Suhran, one who helps you without expecting anything in return. Such a person is called Suhrit. Mitra, your friend. Ari, your enemy. Udasina, one who is actually neutral. He is neither a friend nor an enemy. Madhyastha, there is someone who always tries to bring enemies together. If two persons are fighting, then he will try to actually remove that misunderstanding and bring things to normal. Such a person. And Dveshya, one who should be hated. He deserves to be hated. Bandhushu, relatives. So whether it be a well-wisher, one who helps you without expecting anything in return, whether it be a friend, whether it be someone who is neither a friend nor an enemy, whether it be an enemy, or whether it be actually one who should be hated, he doesn't deserve any love at all, such a person, or your relative, whatever it be. Everyone is equal to him. He doesn't have any special feelings for anybody. A friend is the same as an enemy. A relative is the same as some unknown stranger. Sadhushvapicha papeshu, not just persons, but whatever they do, people do. Sadhushu, certain actions are said to be correct according to the scriptures. They say certain things you can do and certain actions it is said you should not do. So, this person, he is totally not concerned whether something dharmic is done or whether something adharmic is done. He is totally not concerned about it at all. Both are the same to him. Such a person who is actually the same towards everything. He looks upon everything equally. He has got no dualities at all. Everything is the same to him. Such a person is supreme. Visishyate. He is the best. He is supreme. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi sthitaha ekakiyata chittatma nirashira parigrahaha. Next, yogi, one who is practicing dhyana yoga. How he should be, that is said. Rahasistitaha, he should always be in some secret place. Nobody should know that he is meditating there. So, in secret, in such a place, ekaki, alone. He should not have friends with him or friends visiting him. Alone, without anybody in the surrounding area. Yata chittatma, with his senses totally under control. Nirashihi, without any expectation, without any desire. Aparigrahaha, without any possessions. Oh, I am going to go meditate in the forest. So, what will I do? Where will I sleep? Maybe I will take a mat with me. No bedding, just a small mat I will take with me. And if I have to eat, I'll just have a small bowl with me. Bare minimum possessions let me have. So like this, this bare minimum will slowly increase and lead to something else. So, without any possessions, yogi yunjita satatam. He should always try to bring his mind under control. Always concentrate on that one single entity to succeed in his yoga, to attain that state of samadhi. So we'll stop with this for today. Tomorrow we'll continue with Dhyana Yoga. So other features, whatever the Lord explains about Dhyana Yoga. Hari Om.